Ladies and gentlemen, life will always give you choices. You can choose wisdom or you can choose foolishness. But let me tell you something straight. The cost of stupidity is always higher than the price of discipline. Too many people are blaming the devil, blaming their family, blaming their environment, when in reality the enemy isn't out there, the enemy is in here. Stupidity is when you keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Stupidity is when you ignore the warnings, when you close your ears to wisdom. You sabotage your own destiny and then cry about it later. Stop being stupid. Wake up to your calling. Stop chasing people who don't care about your growth. Stop spending money. You don't have to impress people who don't like you. Stop walking in circles when you were born to move forward. Stupidity will steal your time, drain your strength, and leave you empty. Wisdom, on the other hand, will protect you, promote you, and prosper you. Your destiny is too great to die in foolishness. Your purpose is too heavy to waste it on nonsense. It's time to grow up, to wise up, and to step up. Don't let stupidity kill what God has planted in you. Choose wisdom, choose discipline, choose destiny. There comes a point in every person's life when you must confront the truth. The greatest enemy you will ever face is not on the outside, it is on the inside. It is not always the critic in the room, the hater on social media, or the adversary across the street. Many times, the most dangerous opponent is the one that looks back at you in the mirror. One of the most devastating weapons that opponent can use against you is stupidity. Stupidity is not simply a lack of knowledge, it is willfully ignoring wisdom that is already available to you. It is refusing to learn, refusing to grow, refusing to apply what you already know. Let me tell you, stupidity is not just harmless, it is self-sabotage. When you sabotage yourself, you don't need anyone else to block your blessings. You are already doing the job. Self-sabotage shows up in the small decisions, the little compromises, habits that seem harmless but are eating away at your future. It's the refusal to save when you know better. It's the choice to stay connected to people who drain your energy when you've been warned over and over again that they are not good for your destiny. It's procrastinating on your dreams until the window of opportunity closes. What stupidity does, it keeps you stuck while life moves forward without you. The truth is, stupidity is not about how smart you are. It's about how you apply your wisdom. There are people with degrees, people with money, people with influence who still live foolishly. There are people with very little formal education who live wisely because wisdom is not about information. It is about application. Every time you ignore what you know you should do, you sabotage yourself. Every time you allow your emotions to rule over your decisions, you sabotage yourself. Every time you keep going back to the same cycle, expecting a different result, you sabotage yourself. Self-sabotage whispers lies into your spirit. It tells you one more time won't hurt. One more chance with this toxic relationship won't kill you. One more reckless purchase won't affect your future. But those small acts of foolishness compound. They grow like weeds. Before you know it, stupidity has choked the life out of your purpose. It has robbed you of time, of energy, of money, of opportunities. And worst of all, it has stolen the future you were meant to have. You don't have to live like that. You don't have to keep being your own worst enemy. You don't have to sabotage your blessings, your opportunities, your destiny. The first step to breaking free from stupidity is to admit it. Stop blaming everyone else. Stop pointing fingers at the world. Stop giving excuses for why you're not where you're supposed to be. A wise person owns their mistakes, learns from them, and grows. A foolish person keeps repeating the same cycle. Care enough, pretending that the outcome will magically change. You've got to stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending that it's okay to live beneath your potential. Stop excusing away the habits that are destroying you. Stop justifying the relationships that are holding you back. Stop covering up the procrastination that is keeping you from greatness. Call it what it is, stupidity. Call it what it is, self-sabotage. Because you cannot change what you are unwilling to confront. How many doors have already opened for you, but stupidity kept you from walking through them? How many opportunities were in your hands, but foolishness caused you to drop them? how many blessings were in your grasp, but you sabotaged them by being unprepared, undisciplined, or unwilling to change. Tragedy of stupidity is not just what you lose, it's what you never get to see because you destroyed it before it had the chance to grow. The good news is you can turn it around. You can decide today that stupidity will no longer govern your life. You can decide that you are done with sabotaging your own future. You can choose wisdom. And wisdom does not always shout. It often whispers. Wisdom tells you to wake up earlier. Wisdom tells you to cut off distractions. Wisdom tells you to listen before you speak. Wisdom tells you to stop spending recklessly. Wisdom tells you to stay consistent, even when it's not exciting. Wisdom tells you to invest in your growth. Because greatness doesn't come by accident. If you're tired of sabotaging your own success, you've got to get serious about your choices. You've got to stop living casually. You've got to start taking responsibility for your destiny. Life does not reward foolishness. Life rewards discipline. Life rewards wisdom. Life rewards those who are willing to pay the price today for the future they want tomorrow. Stupidity will cost you everything. It will cost you relationships. It will cost you opportunities. It will cost you peace. It will cost you time. And time is the one thing you can never get back. Every day you spend living foolishly is a day stolen from your destiny. Don't let stupidity rob you anymore. Don't let self-sabotage destroy the future you were born to live. You are greater than your past mistakes. You are bigger than your foolish decisions. But you must rise above stupidity and step into wisdom. Stop digging holes for yourself and then crying about being trapped. Stop lighting fires in your own house and then complaining about the smoke. Stop breaking your own wings and then wondering why you cannot fly. Today be the day you choose differently. Let today be the day you walk away from foolishness. Let today be the day you stop sabotaging yourself. Because your destiny is too valuable to waste on stupidity. Your calling is too important to destroy with foolishness. Your future is too bright to be dimmed by self-sabotage. Time and energy are two of the most valuable resources you will ever have. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose possessions and replace them. But once your time is gone, it's gone forever. Once your energy is drained, it takes effort to restore it. That's why wisdom is so critical. Wisdom doesn't just make you look smart. It protects your time and preserves your strength. Wisdom saves you from wasting years in the wrong direction. Wisdom saves you from pouring energy into people and places that will never bear fruit. Wisdom is the guardian of your life's most precious resources. The truth is, many of us are not tired because life is too hard. We are tired because we keep making foolish choices. We are weary, not because we are working too much, because we are working on the wrong things. Foolishness drains your energy. It sends you running in circles. It has you chasing people who don't care, investing in things that don't matter, and fighting battles that don't belong to you. And when you finally collapse, you wonder why you have nothing left. But wisdom steps in and says, no more wasted time, no more wasted energy, no more cycles that leave you empty. Wisdom gives you clarity. It allows you to separate what matters from what doesn't. It helps you decide what to say yes to and what to say no to. A foolish person says yes to everything and wonders why they are exhausted. A wise person understands the power of focus. They know that every yes is a no to something else. So they guard their time, they protect their energy, and they reserve their strength for what truly matters. Think about how much time is wasted by ignoring wisdom. How many relationships lasted longer than they should have because you refused to listen to the warnings? How many opportunities were lost because you procrastinated when wisdom told you to act? How much energy has been drained by constantly revisiting the same mistakes over and over again? Wisdom could have saved you years of heartache. Wisdom could have preserved your strength for the right battles. Wisdom could have redirected you before you hit the wall. Wisdom is not about knowing everything. It's about knowing enough to make better choices. It's the ability to see past the moment and into the outcome. Foolishness says, do what feels good right now. Wisdom says, think about how this will affect you tomorrow. Foolishness says, keep going even when it's destroying you. Wisdom says, pause, reevaluate, and shift. Foolishness is impulsive, reactive, careless. Wisdom is thoughtful, intentional, and strategic. That's why wisdom saves time and energy. It guides you to the right path before you waste years walking down the wrong one. Life gives us a limited amount of time and a limited amount of energy. You cannot afford to spend them recklessly. Wise person learns to conserve energy by choosing battles carefully. Not every argument deserves a response. Not every insult deserves your attention. Every opportunity is meant for you. Some things are distractions dressed up as opportunities. Wisdom teaches you to discern the difference. It saves you from pouring yourself into what looks good but isn't good for you. When you live foolishly, you live reactively. You respond to everything. You jump at every opportunity. You chase after every trend, and in the process, you wear yourself out. But when you live wisely, you live proactively. You decide where your energy goes. You choose where to invest your time. You set boundaries to protect your strength. You stop letting people drain you with drama. You stop wasting hours trying to change what you cannot control. Wisdom gives you permission to let go of what doesn't serve your destiny, and in doing so, it saves both your time and your energy. Wisdom also saves you from regret. Regret is one of the heaviest weights a person can carry because it represents wasted time that you cannot get back. Foolishness leads to regret, but wisdom leads to peace. When you walk in wisdom, you can rest at night knowing you did the right thing, made the right choice, used your resources wisely. That kind of peace is priceless. It preserves your energy because nothing drains a person like carrying the weight of regret. Wisdom also multiplies your effectiveness. A foolish person may work harder, but a wise person works smarter. Foolishness burns energy without producing results. Wisdom directs energy where it will bring the most return. That's why two people can put in the same hours. One will feel drained while the other feels fulfilled. It's not about how much you're doing, it's about how wisely you are doing it. You see, wisdom saves time by preventing detours. It keeps you from going in circles, repeating the same mistakes, falling into the same traps. It saves energy by keeping you aligned with your purpose. It channels your strength toward the right goals and the right people. And the beautiful thing is that wisdom is available to anyone who seeks it. You don't have to be the most educated or the most experienced. You simply have to be willing to listen, learn, and apply. The problem is that many people don't want wisdom because wisdom requires discipline. Wisdom will tell you, don't go there. When your emotions say, go ahead. Wisdom will tell you, save that money. When your desires say, spend it now. Wisdom will tell you, be quiet. When your pride says, speak up. Wisdom doesn't always feel good in the moment, but it always saves you later. And if you are willing to follow wisdom, it will guard your life like a shield. If you want to stop wasting your life, you need wisdom. If you want to stop feeling exhausted, you need wisdom. If you want to maximize your potential, you need wisdom. You cannot afford to spend another year chasing the wrong things, investing in the wrong people, fighting the wrong battles. Life is too short, and your destiny is too important. Stop letting foolishness rob you of your time and your energy. Start listening to wisdom. Protect your resources. Be intentional about where you invest your hours and your strength. Walk away from what drains you. Pour yourself into what builds you. Be wise enough to know that not every fight is worth your attention, not every opportunity is worth your time, and not every person is worth your energy. Wisdom saves time. Wisdom saves energy. Wisdom saves you from regret, and wisdom positions you for greatness. If you will embrace wisdom, your life will shift. You will accomplish more in less time. You will find peace instead of exhaustion. You will preserve your strength for what truly matters. And you will look back years from now and thank yourself for choosing wisdom over foolishness. Life has a way of teaching us lessons. Some lessons are gentle, some are painful, but all of them are designed to grow us. Yet too often we find ourselves going through the same struggles over and over again, not because life refuses to move us forward, but because we keep repeating destructive patterns. A destructive pattern is like a trap, something you fall into again and again, even when you know it leads nowhere good, and until you decide to break free. You will keep living in cycles that steal your joy, drain your energy, and rob you of your destiny. A pattern is powerful. Patterns shape your habits. your relationships, your finances, and your future. If you don't learn to master your patterns will master you. Repeating destructive patterns is like walking in circles. You're moving, but you're not progressing. You're putting in effort, but you're not getting anywhere. And the most dangerous thing about patterns is that they become so familiar, you start calling them normal. How many times have you said, "This time will be different," only to end up back in the same situation? How many times have you promised yourself you wouldn't return to that toxic relationship, only to go back because it felt familiar? How many times have you committed to breaking a bad habit, only to fall back into it when stress hit? That's what destructive patterns do. They trap you in cycles that keep you from reaching your true potential. But let me tell you this, you are not created to live in cycles of destruction. You are not designed to keep repeating the same mistakes. You were born to grow, to evolve, to rise higher. And the first step to freedom is recognizing the cycle. You cannot break what you will not acknowledge. Stop making excuses for the patterns that are destroying you. Stop covering them up with words like, "That's just how I am," or "Everybody does it." No, call it what it is, a destructive pattern. Call it what it is, cycle that must be broken. Every destructive pattern has a root. Maybe it started with fear. Maybe it came from insecurity. Maybe it was modeled for you by your family, and you've repeated it without even realizing it. Just because it started with them doesn't mean it has to end with you. Generational cycles can be broken. Addictions can be broken. Toxic habits can be broken, but they will not break themselves. You must make a conscious decision to stop repeating them. The truth is, patterns repeat because you allow them. You feed them with your choices, with your excuses, with your silence. And every time you go back to the pattern grows stronger. But every time you resist it, every time you say no, every time you choose differently, you weaken the cycle. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen one decision at a time. Destructive patterns don't just affect you, they affect the people connected to you. Your children, your friends, your coworkers, they are watching you. They are learning from you. And if you keep repeating destructive patterns, you risk passing them on to the next generation. But if you break the cycle, you not only set yourself free, you set an example for others to follow. You create a new pattern, a new legacy, a new story. Destructive patterns will always disguise themselves as comfort. That's why it's so hard to break them. They feel familiar. They feel safe, even when they're harmful. That toxic relationship feels safe because it's what you know. That bad habit feels comforting because it's your escape. That cycle of procrastination feels easier than facing responsibility. But don't confuse familiar with safe. Just because it's comfortable doesn't mean it's good for you. Sometimes the very thing that feels familiar is the very thing destroying your future. If you're serious about breaking patterns, you've got to do 3 things: confront the truth, change your environment, and commit to discipline. Confronting the truth means admitting that the way you've been living is not working. It means looking in the mirror and saying, "I am tired of being stuck. I'm tired of repeating the same cycle. I deserve better, and I will do better." Changing your environment means removing the triggers that keep pulling you back. If certain people always drag you into drama, distance yourself. If certain places make it easy to fall into temptation, stop going there. If certain habits feed the cycle, replace them with healthier ones. You cannot break destructive patterns while living in the same environment that created them. Committing to discipline means staying consistent even when it's hard. Breaking a cycle is not about making one big decision. It's about making the right decision again and again until it becomes your new pattern. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel today. I am committed to growth. Discipline says, I may stumble, but I will not stay down. Discipline says, future is worth more than this cycle. Do not let destructive patterns define your life. Do not spend another year walking in circles, wasting your potential. Stop giving your energy to habits that are killing you. Stop investing your time in relationships that drain you. Stop repeating the same destructive cycles and expecting a different result. You are stronger than your patterns. You are greater than your cycles. The moment you decide to stop repeating them, everything in your life begins to shift. New doors will open. New opportunities will arise. New strength will emerge, because when you stop repeating destructive patterns, you start creating patterns of success, patterns of peace, patterns of growth. So I challenge you today, break the cycle, interrupt the pattern, make a new choice. Don't just talk about change, be the change. Your destiny is too important to waste on repetition. Your calling is too great to be destroyed by cycles. Your future is too bright to be dimmed by destructive patterns. This is your moment to step out of circles and step into progress. This is your time to stop repeating the past and start creating the future. No more wasted years, no more wasted energy, no more destructive patterns. From this moment forward, choose growth, choose wisdom, choose freedom. Every single person on this planet will pay a price. The question is not whether you will pay. It is what you will pay for. You can pay the price of discipline today, or you can pay the price of regret tomorrow. Hear me clearly, regret will always cost you more. More, discipline has a price, yes. Discipline demands sacrifice. It requires consistency. It makes you say no to distractions, no to shortcuts, no to momentary pleasures. But regret is a debt you carry long after the moment is gone. Regret is the haunting reminder that you could have done more, that you should have done better, that you wasted what was in your hands. Discipline is an investment in your future. Regret is the penalty for neglecting it. Think about it. Discipline says, wake up early. Regret says, I wish I had more time. Discipline says, save your money. Regret says, I can't believe I'm broke. Discipline says, control your mouth. Regret says, I wish I hadn't said that. Discipline says, take care of your health. Regret says, if only I had taken better care of myself. Discipline demands something from you now, but regret demands everything from you later. Discipline hurts for a moment, but regret lasts a lifetime. The sting of discipline is temporary, it passes. But the sting of regret keeps coming back. It shows up in the middle of the night. It shows up at reunions. It shows up when you see somebody living the life you could have had, only you had been disciplined enough to build it. That's why discipline is cheaper, because the little sacrifices you make today protect you from the heavy burden you would carry tomorrow. Regret is heavy. It's heavy because it is filled with what ifs and if onlys. What if I had studied harder? What if I had been consistent? Only I had taken that opportunity. If only I had walked away from that toxic relationship sooner. If only I had made wiser choices. Regret weighs you down, and it follows you everywhere. But discipline sets you free. Discipline gives you peace. Discipline allows you to look in the mirror and say, I didn't do everything perfectly, but I gave it my all. The truth is, discipline is not punishment, it's preparation. It's not there to kill your joy, it's there to protect your future. When you practice discipline, you are building strength, endurance, and focus. You are shaping your life so that when opportunity knocks, you're ready to answer. Foolishness says, do whatever feels good in the moment. Wisdom says, do what will feel good later. That's the difference between discipline and regret. Discipline is cheaper because it costs you pennies compared to the dollars regret will demand. Skipping that party to study might cost you a few hours of fun. Failing the exam will cost you a year of your life. Saying no to junk food might cost you a craving. Illness will cost you hospital bills and years of suffering. Waking up early to build your dream may cost you some sleep. Giving up on your dream will cost you your purpose. You can't escape the price. You will either suffer the pain of discipline or you will suffer the pain of regret. But only one pain pays off. Only one pain produces fruit. Only one pain leads to growth. Discipline hurts in the moment, but it heals in the future. Regret feels good in the moment, but it destroys in the future. Discipline is not glamorous. It doesn't get applause. Nobody cheers when you choose to stay home and work instead of wasting time. Nobody celebrates when you decline the easy path. But years from now, when you are reaping the benefits of your discipline, people will wonder how you did it. They won't see the nights you stayed up grinding. They won't see the temptations you resisted. They won't see the sacrifices you made. Only see the results, and those results will speak louder than your excuses ever could. Regret, on the other hand, will always find a way to embarrass you. It will always remind you of the opportunities you let slip away. It will always whisper, "You could have been more. You could have done more." And no matter how much you try to silence it, regret lingers. It becomes part of your story. That's why choosing discipline now is the smartest decision you can make. Don't wait for regret to teach you the value of discipline. Learn now, train yourself now, develop habits now. Stop making excuses. Stop postponing your growth. Stop convincing yourself that you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised, but regret is guaranteed if you keep delaying discipline. You don't have to be perfect. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about pushing yourself when no one is watching. It's about making small, consistent choices that build a big, lasting difference. Discipline is cheaper than regret because it pays dividends. Every small act of discipline compounds over time. Every workout builds strength. Every page read builds knowledge. Every dollar saved builds security. Moment of self-control builds character. And all those small investments add up to a future filled with peace instead of pain. The choice is yours. Every single day, you are writing your future with the choices you make. Every yes and every no is an investment. Make sure you're investing in discipline, not regret. Because when the dust settles, when the years pass, when your time runs out, you will either be grateful for the discipline you showed or tormented by the regret you refuse to avoid. So rise up. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop letting procrastination steal your future. Stop trading destiny for distraction. Start today. Start small. Start with what you can control. But whatever you do, start. Because discipline may cost you something right now, but regret will cost you everything later. Discipline is the cheaper price. Discipline is the lighter burden. Discipline is the wiser choice. Pay it now, and you'll enjoy the reward later. Ignore it now. You'll pay far more in regret than you ever imagined. Every single one of us has a destiny. You were not born by accident. You were not created just to take up space, breathe air, pay bills, and die. No, there is something greater inside you. There is purpose in your bones. There is calling in your spirit. There is a future with your name written on it. But hear me clearly, destiny does not unfold automatically. Destiny requires preparation. Destiny requires choices. Destiny requires responsibility. And above all, your destiny demands wisdom. You cannot step into the fullness of your calling while living carelessly. You cannot build the future you were designed for while ignoring the lessons life has been teaching you. Wisdom is the key that unlocks the door to destiny. Without it, you may touch success for a moment, but you will not be able to sustain it. Without wisdom, opportunities slip through your fingers. Without wisdom, you sabotage the very blessings you prayed for. Wisdom is not just knowledge. Knowledge is information. Wisdom is application. You can read every book, attend every seminar, and memorize every quote, but if you don't apply it, it's wasted. Wisdom is the ability to see beyond the moment and into the consequences. It is the discipline to choose long-term growth over short-term pleasure. It is the courage to walk away from what looks good but isn't good for you. And when it comes to your destiny, nothing is more important than that. Your destiny will demand that you say no to certain things, not because they are bad, but because they are not aligned. Destiny will demand that you stop wasting time on foolish distractions. Destiny will demand that you stop entertaining people who drain you. Stop feeding habits that weaken you. Stop living in cycles that hold you back. Wisdom helps you recognize when something may look harmless. It is actually a detour. Wisdom keeps you focused. Look back over your life. How many times did you lose years to foolish decisions? How many times did you invest in relationships that went nowhere, careers that didn't fulfill you, habits that stole your strength? That is the cost of ignoring wisdom. Foolishness is expensive. It wastes your time, it drains your energy, and it delays your destiny. But wisdom saves you. Wisdom protects you. Wisdom positions you for the opportunities you've been waiting for. Destiny is not a straight line. It is filled with choices. Every decision either pulls you closer to it or pushes you farther away. That's why wisdom is not optional. It is essential. Your destiny will not tolerate recklessness. It will not flourish in foolishness. It demands wisdom at every step. Wisdom teaches you to think before you act. It teaches you to pause before you speak. It teaches you to discern between good and great. Some of the hardest choices in life are not between right and wrong. They are between what is good and what is best. Destiny requires that you stop settling for good enough and start reaching for what is truly aligned with your purpose. And that requires wisdom. Wisdom also teaches you patience. Some of you are frustrated because your destiny hasn't manifested yet, but maybe it's not delayed. It's protected. Maybe you are not ready for what you've been asking for. Maybe destiny is waiting for you to grow in wisdom so you can handle the weight of the blessing. If you get it too soon, it can crush you. If you receive it without maturity, you can lose it. Wisdom prepares you to carry what destiny has for you. Destiny also demands that you learn from the past. A wise person doesn't keep repeating the same mistakes. A wise person takes the lesson and moves differently. Foolishness keeps going in circles, expecting change without making change. But wisdom says, I refuse to waste another year repeating what already hurt me. I refuse to recycle the same habits that already failed me. Wisdom breaks cycles and opens new paths. Wisdom is also about stewardship. Destiny is not just about arriving at a destination. It's about handling what you've been given with care, how you manage your relationships, your health, your finances, your time. These are all tests of wisdom. If you can't manage small things wisely, you won't be trusted with bigger things. Destiny does not reward recklessness. It rewards responsibility. And let's be clear, wisdom doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes wisdom is the quiet voice saying, don't go there. Sometimes it's the conviction that tells you, wait. Sometimes it's the nudge that says, try a different approach. If you want to fulfill your destiny, you must learn to listen. You must be humble enough to receive correction, teachable enough to accept instruction, and courageous enough to act when wisdom speaks. The truth is, destiny is not cheap, it is not casual, it is not for the careless. Destiny is expensive, and wisdom is the currency you must pay. That's why you cannot afford to live foolishly. You cannot afford to keep ignoring the warnings. You cannot afford to keep wasting time. Every day you live without wisdom is a day stolen from your destiny. So what must you do? Pursue wisdom relentlessly, value it above shortcuts. Seek it in your decisions, in your relationships, in your daily habits. Surround yourself with people who sharpen your thinking, not those who dull it. Be willing to walk alone if it means walking wisely. Because when you choose wisdom, you choose destiny. Your destiny demands wisdom. It will not unfold without it. And the good news is, wisdom is available to anyone who seeks it. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to listen, learn, and apply. Wisdom will guide you. Wisdom will protect you. Wisdom will prepare you. Wisdom will sustain you. So make the decision today. Stop letting foolishness rob you of your future. Stop settling for cycles that keep you stuck. Stop wasting time on people and places that do not align with your destiny. Start walking in wisdom. Start listening. Start applying. Start choosing wisely. Because your destiny is waiting and it demands wisdom.